Hey guys, I thought I would do something a little bit different today. I'm going to follow a tutorial from one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Allana Davison. You guys probably know her. She has a pretty big following here on YouTube. I have been following her for a long time, since she was in college, I think in Calgary, and I have followed all of her moves. She moved like back to Vancouver, and now she's in Toronto. And actually, when I was in Toronto a couple weekends ago, I was like, had that girl crush dream that maybe I'd run into her on the street. That didn't happen. Anyway, she did a tutorial. It's like her current no makeup look, and she posted this, I don't know, maybe last week or so. And ever since then, I kept thinking I really want to try her techniques, because she's someone that really loves to like mix different products together, and that's just something I never think to do when I put on my makeup. I kind of just go with one product. Even with my eyeshadow palettes, I kind of just stick to that one palette. I very rarely use like 3 different, eyeshadow palettes to come up with a look. So I'm trying to do that more this year. It's something that I'm hoping to be able to kind of like incorporate in my, makeup habits, I guess, is just to, play around a little bit more. So anyway, I will leave a link to her video down below in my description box. Definitely check it out. The other thing I was curious about is if this would work on more mature skin, a more mature complexion. She is a lot younger than I am. I don't know, maybe she's around 30. I have no idea. I feel like anyone under the age of 40, I'm like, I don't know, they could be between 25 and 40. I have no idea. But that was another thing I wanted to check out. Like, is this going to work for someone who's almost 46? So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So I'm going to be following basically like her steps and her techniques, but I'm going to be using completely different products. Hopefully I'm picking some stuff out that is fairly similar to what she's using, but I feel like almost everything she used, I don't have. Yeah, I don't have not one of the products that she's using. So I guess it'll be another good test to see if I can kind of pull off a similar look using completely different products. But I'm going to go ahead and start the way she did with some SPF. I am continuing to test this Kypris Pot of Shade Heliotropic Broad Spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen and primer. It is 20% zinc oxide, and I have promised you guys a dedicated video to Kypris, which I'm still planning on doing. But because I've been traveling a lot, I feel like I haven't been able to really kind of like just drill down with some of the products, because I haven't been bringing this on my travels. It's a glass bottle. Anyway, that is coming. But I'm going to go ahead and apply this today. This is what it looks like. And I feel like I've been reading up on sunscreens a little bit more this year, and I'm really trying to focus on using sunscreens that are mineral sunscreens. In the past, mineral sunscreens have surprisingly, versus chemical sunscreens, but mineral sunscreens have bothered my sensitive skin a little bit more than chemical sunscreens. I don't know why. I would think the opposite, but my skin, as I've said in the past, is a moody bitch. So this particular sunscreen has not bothered my skin at all. I do feel like my skin is getting a little bit less moody in its older years. One of the few benefits of getting older. And I really like this one, even though it's zinc oxide. You can definitely feel it on your hands, after you've applied it, but I don't feel like I feel it on my skin, where so often when I use a mineral sunscreen, I feel like I can feel like the powder. And with this one, I don't really feel that way. And it's been making a really nice primer. It has just a little bit of tack to the skin. So it's been really nice, but full review of this product and other Kypris products definitely coming up very, very soon. All right, so the next thing Allana does is she mixes like a bronzing gel with her primer. So I have the Guerlain Terracotta Tinted Skincare Jelly, and I really enjoy this. I have it in the shade medium. That's right, the light, which you would assume I would use, was actually too light. It just didn't do that much. So I went for the medium, and if you are a similar skin tone to mine, that is what I would recommend. And I'm gonna try actually a new primer. This is the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer, and Laura Mercier was kind enough to send this to me, and I just have never used any of her primers before. So I'm gonna mix the two of these together. And she likes to apply things to her skin with her hands, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So I hope that's not too much, but there's the jelly and there's the primer. I'm going to mix the two together. That's what that looks like. So it just has a little bit of a tint, and I'm going to work that in. She uses the Smashbox Primerizer primer, which seems a little bit watery too. So I think this is going to be similar to what she uses in her video. All right, I see a little bit of color, but not too much. I really like this Guerlain Tinted Jelly. It's really, really beautiful. It's very natural looking. Big fan of that. All right, so what she does next is she mixes the Kevyn Aucoin Spectrum Bronze Glass Glow face with the foundation she's going to use, which is the Clinique Ever Better Refresh Foundation. So again, I don't have either of these products, but I thought I would use my Edward Best Ultra Dewy Complexion Perfector. This is a fairly lightweight kind of foundation, so I thought that was maybe a little bit similar to the Clinique. And then instead of the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow face, I thought I would use the By Terry Brightening CC Serum in, what color is this? White Rose? Is that right? I got this in a set of 3. And I don't know, it says White Rose right up here. I feel like that's the name of this, but it's kind of bronzy. So again, she uses her fingers to apply, and so I'm gonna do the same. Actually, let me shake both of these things up. The By Terry has a pump, which is very handy. So I'm just gonna start out with that much. There's the foundation and the Brightening CC Serum. I'm gonna mix those two. I really hate using my hands. And I'm gonna apply this. Oh. Well, the By Terry has a lovely rose scent, if you are into that. I will say, applying with your fingers definitely goes a lot further. I feel like I have to use a lot less product to get it all over my face. I am just going to take a brush and make sure I have it completely blended down. I feel like I'm using so many like bronzer type products that I don't want to have that line there. All right, next step is concealer, and she uses the RMS Uncover Up concealer, and I'm going to substitute the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I have it in the shade G11, and from how she describes the RMS concealer, I feel like this is probably very, very similar. All right, so I'm just gonna take some and blend it in around my eyes here. And this is such a great no makeup kind of concealer. It is really, really emollient, so it blends really quickly, as you guys just witnessed, and it just sits really nicely on the skin. It does a really nice job. It's not like super full coverage concealer. It just has like a nice, you know, kind of evens out your skin tone kind of effect. So it's great for no makeup. It's great for the summertime. I feel like if you're looking for something a little bit lighter.
And I'll just do a little layer on top of blemishes.
All right, so we're not going to powder yet because Allana mentions, and I feel the same way, that using cream products is really a great way to achieve that no makeup kind of like fresh look. I feel like it just blends really, really seamlessly. I feel like powder can sometimes have like a bolder, kind of stronger appearance, where cream products really just kind of meld into your skin, just looks really, really natural and very, very skin-like. So Allana uses a cream bronzer. I think she uses a stick from Nude Sticks. Again, I don't have that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Chantecaille Radiance Gel Bronzer. This isn't in stick form, but it is like a cream. So I'm just going to go ahead and shake it up. And I'm just going to squirt just a little bit. You don't need a lot of this product. It's pretty concentrated. And it has a very warm tone to it. So since we're going for a summertime no makeup look, I thought that this would be nice. I'm going to go ahead and use a sponge to apply it. I'm just going to tap it right in and then apply it. So I'm just pressing it in with the sponge. I'm kind of blending it in lightly, and I'm putting it where I would contour. So just around my forehead a little bit. And I'm just gonna pick up the remainder here and put it where I feel like I would get some natural sun, like down my nose, maybe the tops of my cheeks. Definitely my forehead. My forehead gets so much darker than the rest of my face. Made my chin a little. I think I want a little bit more on my cheeks here, so I'm just adding just a hint more. And then she actually applies her highlighter before her blush, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same. I'm going to use my Guerlain Terracotta highlighter stick in Nude. I mentioned this in my favorites. I really love this highlighter. So I'm just going to swipe right on since I don't have any powder products. And then use my sponge to blend in. Oh, my sponge is starting to tear. If you guys can see that. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to use the butt of the sponge since I know there's no bronzer or foundation on there. And blend that in. don't usually highlight the tip of my nose, but I brought it all the way down. Whoops. So there is the highlight applied. It is a blinding highlight. I just love it. All right, so for blush, I was gonna use my Chanel blush number 23. This is, it's kind of like peachy, it's peachy, but I was just kind of rewatching Allana's video, and she mentions using a more cool toned pink blush, and she says that she thinks that tone is really what kind of like brings the face to life, really kind of like brightens it up. I'm sure that depends on your undertones or whatever, but I'm gonna give it a try. So I'm not gonna use this Chanel. Let me find something else. I think this is the only one I have that's like a bright, cool pink. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint in Puff. Most of my brighter blushes are peachy toned, and then most of my pink blushes have like a dusty kind of hint to them. Who knew? So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Cloud Paint, and this is another product you do not need a lot of. A little bit goes a long way. So I just squirted that much out. I'm gonna use my fingers and dab it right onto my cheeks, kind of focusing it on the apples of my cheeks here. And then taking the butt of my sponge and just blending that in. Well, I have to say, I do feel like my face looks like flushed. It looks heated. So I'd have to agree with Allana. I feel like this tone, I never really thought about it. I always kind of thought of like the brighter peach color, like this Chanel stick would give my face a little bit more life. But I do feel like the brightness in this pink really has like enlivened my face. So I'd have to agree with Allana on that. Very, very good tip from her. Oh, so she brings the blush across her nose too, which I like to do as well, but I never do it with cream blushes. I'll do it with powder blushes because, you know, I have it on the brush and I'll just bring my brush across my nose, but I never think to do it with cream products. All right, so we're done with all of the cream products. We're gonna now use some powder just to set down maybe around the eyes, set down the concealer, make sure that doesn't move or crease or budge or anything. So I'm just gonna use my Kogan Do Natural Lighting Powder, and I've got my Sonia G Detail Pro Brush, and I'm taking just the slightest bit because I wanna keep that kind of dewiness going. And I'm just gonna brush some under the eyes, basically wherever I put that concealer down, and around my nose. All right, so next she gets into the brows. She starts with a pencil, so that's what I'm gonna do. I have the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil in Soft Brunette, and I'm just going to start to fill them in and define them a little bit. I have mentioned this pencil a lot in the past. This has appeared in my favorites numerous times, but I just love it. It has like the perfect ratio between pigment and waxiness. It's not too waxy, it's not too pigmented. I don't do that well with super pigmented eyebrow pencils. I have to be really, really careful. This brow looks so much bolder. What did I do? Let's make this one a little bit bolder. That's as good as it's gonna get. So next, she actually does a beauty hack, which I hadn't seen. I usually watch all of her videos, but I don't remember this. But she uses a blender brush, like a regular eyeshadow blender brush, just over her brows, and I guess it just softens everything up. But I'm gonna go ahead and try that. I have the Esom G34 brush. It is a big blender brush, and I am just going to see if that does anything. Let me see if she does anything special.
I take a fluffy brush and I just fluff over the brows. I have talked about this so many times on my channel. It's one of my favorite beauty hacks from my beauty hacks video. But I just take the blendy brush and fluff it around, and I don't know, it's like magic. It just removes any harsh lines from the product that was used to fill in the brows, and it just instantly gives it a more feathery, fluffy look. So I do that.
I don't know if that did anything, but this actually feels really nice. So next she moves into mascara. She actually doesn't do any eye makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. I've got my Surratt Beauty Releve, I think that's how you pronounce it, lash curler here. We'll see if my stubborn lashes feel like cooperating today. I doubt it. They've never cooperated in the past, so I don't know why they would today. So, how are you guys doing? All right, she goes in with the she also goes in with a brow mascara. I saw the word mascara and thought she was using two different mascaras, but it's a brow mascara. So I've got my Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel here. I'm gonna go in with this guy. You guys know this is my favorite, absolute favorite. And just gonna brush that in. I have got such crazy old man eyebrows. I think I've mentioned this way back in my older videos, but I have to trim my eyebrows like more than my nails, my hair, anything. I probably trim my eyebrows at least once a week, and they still get so long and hairy here. Okay, now mascara. So I've already curled my lashes. I'm gonna use my Sisley So Volume mascara in number 1, and I like this mascara, but it's not my favorite. I'm not a good person to ask when it comes to mascara. I just have really awful lashes. But this one is will definitely give you volume, which is what I need. But when you have so few lashes, when you make them clumpy, they look like ridiculous. Like imagine, you know, like 4 lashes with like clumps hanging off of them. It's not cute. Like if you had more lashes and the clumps kind of like just define them more, it would look better. But my lashes are so sad that the clumpiness just, I don't know, it almost accentuates how sad they look. Do you guys see what I mean? Like they just look really spindly. All right, there are my 4 lashes coated in mascara. Let's move on. Oh, sorry, actually she powders now. So she powdered after she did all this. I don't think that would make that big of a difference. All right, and for lips, she suggests using something that is very close to your natural lip color. My natural lip color is actually a pretty cool pink color. So the one that I think is probably the closest is this Chanel Precision Lip Definer in Natural. I've also been loving this one lately. This is actually probably the first lip liner I ever purchased when I was like 18, 19 maybe, and I hadn't used it since then. I like used it all the way down to a nub, and I just recently repurchased this again, and I've been loving it. So this is the color, and she just lines her lips and then kind of blends it in with her finger. She adds some of her cream blush to her lips. I am not going to do that. I've tried using these cloud paints on my lips and they dry down fairly powdery, and I don't like that feeling on my lips. But what I'm going to do, which she doesn't do, is I'm going to add a little bit of lip gloss to my lips. They just look kind of dry at the moment. So I'm going to use my Hourglass Unreal Gloss in Halo. And this just is, it's pretty much clear on the lips, but it has like a slightly milky tint to it. And last but not least, she uses a setting spray. She uses the Farsali Rose Gold 24K Skin Mist. Again, I don't have that. So I'm gonna actually try the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set Setting Spray. It has a really nice subtle fragrance. Is that coconut? Maybe it's coconutty? Ooh, that's nice. That definitely added like a little bit of dewiness to my skin, which I always welcome. So that is it for this no makeup look guided by Allana Davison. Definitely check out her video. Again, I'll link it down below in my description box. Let me know how I did. If you've watched her video or if you watch her video, let me know if you think I kind of nailed it, didn't nail it at all. Let me know down below in the comments section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.